like, share, subscribe. Shouts out to the Lions Den community. And don't y'all forget to subscribe to the podcast show. Link will be pinned in the top of the chat.
Just name the channel who could bang with us. I'll prove that you are smoking dust. GTV Media is top notch in this game, y'all. You failures only have yourself to blame, y'all. Cricket TV and a weapons make you suckers cry. Why don't you close your channel, crawl into a hole and die? Shout out to those who love our movement, no, we'll never flop until you get your mouth on LDBC. We are the underground outfit, y'all. We built this whole thing by ourselves, no in y'all. Independence start with self-preservation. If you can't take care of self, then how can you build a nation, y'all? Yeah, we got that merch for the ladies and yes, we even got that merch for the babies and we got appliances and everything that you will need. We got some banging songs that make anemic haters bleed.
All right, y'all. So press 1 if y'all can hear me in the comment section today. Salute to everybody that's tapped on in. If you guys are not subscribed, make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe to this channel. And we're going to get into this video and talk about this situation as Diddy. Man, he got a whole new set of problems. A lot of people were, up in arms yesterday and going crazy and waving their hands in the air and throwing it like they just don't care. With the situation with Mia, but I think that sometimes they spoke too early like they've done this entire case, because the feds will always, and they made sure they have done this in this case, double down on their bets, meaning everybody who thinks that Mia got humiliated on that stand will be taking those words and shoving them down their throats in a couple of more days. Because when the feds bring up other people who can vouch for many parts of Mia's story and attest to many of the things that Mia have said personally about Sean Diddy Combs, because of based off their own experiences or things that they have seen that have happened, that they can't, all that talk is going to be null and void after a couple of days. But Diddy has bigger problems today. And I told you guys about this. Who else is behind those doors that we haven't seen? Diddy has a woman. Victim number 2 is coming. Victim number 2 will be here today or tomorrow. Now, victim number 2 is also a victim who was sex trafficked and has a similar but more devastating story than Cassie Ventura. And that is the thing Diddy has to be worried about. Now, I cannot say her name, but I know who she is. And I'm going to tell y'all something. Man, victim number 2, if you guys looked in the pretrial paperwork, like I did, victim number 2 has deep allegations against Sean Diddy Combs that go just beyond him allegedly sex trafficking her. You guys are going to see that come up today or tomorrow. Whether she takes the stand today or tomorrow, you guys are going to see that. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm going to tell you guys something. It is not going to be a pretty situation for Sean Diddy Combs. Miss O, the person that you are naming has nothing to do with this case. You guys name a person that have nothing to do with this case. I don't understand why y'all keep naming that person, Mrs. O. She has zero to do with this case. Some of the people that you guys are talking about just don't have any involvement in this case at all. So I don't know, maybe you've been hoodwinked or you've been bamboozled or something like that, or somebody sold you a promise that, was never going to be, what it's supposed to be. But she has nothing to do with that case, the person that you're talking about. A lot of people say people's names that have zero to do with this case. You know what I mean? Yeah, but yeah, I've seen a lot of people repeating that. Oh, what about this girl right here? What happened to her? She's not even in the case. That's what happened. You know what I'm saying? It's cap. It's all cap. So, yeah, you know, I just wanted to put that out there to you so you know that. So you don't have to continue saying that. Um, and that's just what it is right there with that. Uh, to the person who says, well, Young Miami testified, they don't need her to. For what? They don't need her to. They don't need her. They got this dude dead to rights. They don't need her. Y'all finna see it. Now today, uh, you know, Mr. Eddie Garcia, hotel security is coming up, and the guy who actually, took that payment for that tape. So that's going to prove not only the bribery but the obstruction of justice charges. I've been telling you guys for weeks now that the feds had on documents. So the money you're going to see the money and how the money moved. You understand what I'm saying? You're going to see the money, how the money moves, things like that. Now, they're going to start showing you guys this later on in this trial. At the beginning of this trial, see how the feds did this. The feds really brought out their victims. They allowed Diddy's team to take a dump all over their victims. Cool, no problem. The feds knew this was going to happen. That's why they saved the best for last. And it's crazy how they did it because they set all these people up to fall for that trap. But in the end, the people that the feds bring towards the end, and in the end, there's no way Diddy's going to be able to overcome that. And then you have these other things coming up. Stephanie Crable, that person is not involved in this case. You guys can cancel that. That name that you guys keep putting out there has no involvement in this case. I'm talking to you, Stephanie Crab, excuse me. That person's name you just named in the comments have nothing to do with this case. I don't know why you guys, some of y'all have been hoodwinked, bamboozled, all these things. That person have nothing to do with this case. Nothing. You know what I'm saying? So I just don't understand it. Y'all smash the like button, y'all come on in, man. You know what I mean? But yeah, that person has nothing to do with this case. People are just saying names and saying stuff. They have no idea what the hell is going on. That person doesn't have anything to do with this situation. You can't believe everything people say on the internet. You know what I'm saying? Some people just put out information and lie just to lie. Some people cap just to cap. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, again, some people say, oh, this person's missing. Where's the missing persons report? Where's the worldwide search? It's lie. It's cap. You know what I mean? But anyways, though, as I was saying to you guys, it is going to be very, very, very bad for Sean Diddy Combs coming up. Very bad. What they have done is, I told you guys again, they have, and I'm going to say this again, they have, what should I say, built this thing up from the bottom all the way up to the higher levels. You understand what I'm saying? And so you're just starting to see the people that y'all are seeing now. Y'all have not seen any of the people that's been on the higher levels of, the racketeering. And again, everybody keeps asking the question, hey, why didn't Diddy, or why didn't, these other people get charged? Because those other people ain't stupid. Most of these other people are either taking plea deals or getting immunity full out. Simple as that. They're not stupid. They're not going to fight it like Diddy. They know that they're dead to rights. So they're not going to come in and fight it. They'd rather go in. And this is the thing. I told you guys this from the very beginning. I heard people saying what I was saying. Bro, Diddy is the biggest dummy in American history. This dude was doing this stuff around everyday common working people, bro. Bro, when the shit fly, they gonna snitch. You're not doing this around cold-hearted career criminals who willing to take a charge, who in the game, who understand the rules to the game. You doing this with real live working people. So what did you think was going to happen if you ever got caught? That's the part Diddy never understood, is that he was going to get caught. He really thought he was above the law. He was above all these things. So him getting caught, now it's an epiphany to him because, damn, everything he did now has come back on, and all the people that he had working for him, these were everyday average people who are working in different companies, working in different corporations. A lot of these people were very young at that time, impressionable. People don't understand is you 20, 21, 22 years old, 23 years old at that time. Look at all those people their ages now. They're 45, 47. By that time they was with Diddy, they're 22, 23 years old, 20, hungry, trying to get in the game. That's the part y'all don't understand. And then you're asking people to remember specific details from 10, 15 years ago. Bro, I can't remember specific detail from 10, 15 years ago, bro. I can remember parts of things. I can remember key parts of certain things, but I can't remember every certain detail. Some people can't remember every detail what they did last Friday. From the time they woke up to the time they went to sleep, I can't tell you. I couldn't tell you what the hell I did last Friday. What I do last Friday, I can't tell you. Only thing I can tell you is I made a video on YouTube. I don't even know what video I made because I make video every day. That's the only thing I can tell you. That's for sure. I took a shower, made a video on YouTube, right? You know, I read a verse out the good book. That's the only thing I can really tell you, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? Brush my teeth. This is stuff I do every day. So I like, bro, that's why I be trying to tell people this. Y'all gotta understand this type of stuff, man. You know what I mean? So again, man, it's all gonna come back because when it gets to the end, and then all these other people are gonna be like, damn, I didn't know that. Well, you gonna know now. You're gonna know now, Lebowski. Now, let me get some of these donations, man. Shout out to Alexis Fowler. She sent 2 donations to the Cash App yesterday. You know what I'm saying? She says, 1, she says, Diddy eat Fruity Pebbles. And 2, she says, love it when you say Janet Jackson and salute to you. Shout out to Johnny Ranger in the Cash App the donation. He says, salute, bro. He says, forget where's Waldo, where is Ellen? Man. Shout out to Monique Brown. Oh, no, excuse me. Shout out to Jamil Jimenez with the donation. Says my lucky numbers. Shout out to Deborah. Some of y'all last names I can't pronounce, so I just be saying y'all first names. Deborah Galenu. Salute to you in the Cash App. She says, all I got is a spare, but much love to you. Salute to you. Shout out to Carlos Williams. C-A-R-C-A-R L-U-S Williams. Right? So they still haven't brought up the mule. Oh, yeah, they have. What are you talking about? They brought him up multiple times in this case. They call him One Stop. So they brought his name up multiple times. I don't think you've been paying attention. Yeah, I don't think you've been watching, bro. They brought him up multiple times, but I appreciate you for the donation, brother. Monique Brown, salute to you with the Cash App. Lil Chuck, salute to you with the Cash App. Lorraine McNair, salute to you with the Cash App. Auntie Lee, I see you with the Cash App. Antar Moses, salute to you with the Cash App donation. Appreciate all y'all tapping on in, showing love. Y'all already know what it is. Who else is this? Let me see. Shout out to Dexter in the Cash App with the donation. Salute to you, brother. He says, ticket, common sense ain't common. You ain't never lying, brother. You ain't never lying about that. Appreciate you on that. Also, shout out to Felicia Young with the donation. Says, tell him, ticket, tell him, ticket. Yeah, I'm on their helmet. Don't worry about it. If y'all want to donate, the link's pinned at the top of the comment section in the chat room. Cash App, PayPal, definitely let me know what y'all think. But yeah, they're going to keep going up that ladder, escalator style. You know what I'm saying? And so, again, bro, we all know who One Stop is. I can't say no names because I'm reporting on this. I cannot say no names. But I know who One Stop is. I can't say any names because I'm actually reporting on this. So and I talk to people that's in the courthouse, so I can't come on here and say names of people who are supposed to be held anonymous. I know who the people are. I just can't say it on YouTube, right? The same thing as victim number two. The same thing as some of the other victims. You cannot say their names as far as on social media, especially when you got links and you talking with people in these circles. You know what I mean? So yeah, salute everybody. But victim number two, she's gonna be damning the Diddy. I'm gonna tell y'all right now. Victim number two, it's gonna be hard for him to overcome that shit. I'm telling y'all this right now. You said Jonathan Adi. Nah, I don't see him showing up. I don't think they're gonna use him. And the reason why I say that, and I can say Jonathan Adi because they brought his name up. I don't think they're gonna use Jonathan Adi because they don't want to go out of. Jonathan Adi is a wild card because Jonathan Adi, he has some things to him where he says truths, but Jonathan Adi also says stuff like, "Oh, well, Tupac's in Cuba." He get on stage, he get on stand and say that, bro. They're gonna make a fool out of him. So that's why you don't see a guy like Jonathan Adi on the stand. But he's on the pictures as being proven to be, one of the sex workers. He wasn't lying about that. But this is what happens when you get into that type of lifestyle. When you abuse substances and stuff like that, it fries you. It literally does. It literally fries you. And this is what y'all seeing with cats. Y'all seeing people literally go through this stuff. You know what I'm saying? And so it is what it is. It is what it is. I'm just telling y'all what's up. You can feel however you want to feel about what I said, but I know I'm standing on facts. And in the end, I'll be right. And all these people will start complaining and making excuses about why this and why that. You know what I'm saying? As simple as that. They'll just start making excuses like they always do. Y'all already know how this stuff goes. Oh man, oh man, oh man. So, yeah. Hold on one second, you guys. I want y'all, before we start this morning, let's hear some of what Gene Deal had to say on Art of Dialogue. I found this to be very interesting in his most recent interview where he talked about a few things. Shout out to my brother Art of Dialogue, man. Salute to you, homie.
You back, my man. Week 3, Diddy trial. Got to talk about it, man. I heard you and some dude got into an altercation up there. Like, what's the backstory behind that before we get into everything else?
I wouldn't call it an altercation, you know what I'm saying? That means somebody is capable of challenging you on your level. What happened is that you get these YouTubers, you know what I'm saying, who want to make contact with you by yelling, screaming, and hollering, and thinking that you gotta answer their questions. And they talking to a grown-ass man like he's some kind of child or hollering at some kind of animal. See, I come to that court because I'm trying to see this thing through. I don't care what nobody say. I'm the one who initiated this whole thing and started talking about this dude's behavior, his attitude, how he was treating people, what he was doing, way before any of his employees, way before anything. And I took all the ridicule, from everybody. You know what I'm saying? If you was watching the internet when I first got on here, he was talking about this bum ass ex-bodyguard. I didn't have this and I didn't have that. I didn't do this and I didn't do that. But then when the facts start coming out that I was a New York State parole officer with my college degree, had my own house, own apartment, that was given another house by my family. They start seeing that I was one of the leaders and the founders of the same gang, which Puff came out of. I helped and I started slicking the family. You know what I'm saying? All these are Harlem crews. They start saying that the real people that was in New York City was like, yo, Gene was the man. Gene is this. You know what I'm saying? And they was wondering why I got on the internet. I was given something to do, man. I don't care what nobody say. So I go to that court to see it through. You understand? I go to that court to make sure that I'm going to see the people that I love who got hurt behind this dude, we get justice. And I just want to be there to see it. I didn't come there for somebody to be calling me out my name, talking all that, saying things that's irate. Listen here, I'm a grown-ass man. I raised 3 girls to be adults. I raised somebody else's sons to be adult men. You understand what I'm saying? So that makes me grown. I've raised people to be adults. I've helped people with their kids for them to become adults. So I'm a grown-ass man, and I don't need nobody, anybody. You just can't talk to me any kind of way or say whatever you want to say. Then when we see each other, then express yourself as a man. So here this dude hollering, saying, call all kind of epithets, saying all kind of belligerent curse words, saying all kind of shit to me. And I'm like this. I'm like, yo, I played it cool when we was outside. Then when we got into the court, it was a whole different situation. You understand? It was a whole different situation. I went to him, I said, yo, bro, you had a lot of stuff to say outside. You understand? Yo, I got a lot of stuff to say now. That's what he said. I said, oh, what you got to say then? He said, yo, you got questions to answer. For who? I said, if you want me to answer questions, do an interview. I got a booking number, then you do an interview. I answer any of your questions. I ain't got no problem answering anything that you want to know. All you got to do is pay my fee and I'll be there. He said, well, you ain't going to tell me how to get the contact. And as soon as he said that, and he came like he was coming close to me, I took it back to 92. Wu-Tang. Protect your neck. And that's all I'm going to say. I took it back to that. I took it back to 1992 Wu-Tang. Protect your neck. And he know what I'm talking about. And when I did that, the next thing you know, a girl came, the guard started coming and stuff like that. And he told the guard, watch the camera. He hit me. That's what he said to the guard. So one guard was like this. One guard got in front of me and I moved. He said, yo, Gene. He said, yo, Gene, because he ain't know me. He said, yo, Gene, you could just knock me down, bro. Just take a couple of days and
Always buy from Alibaba.com.
Man, crazy work. Hold on, y'all.
So I was leaving. So he ran and got his camera, and then somebody called my name. He called my name like that. I turned around, and I just said to him, I said, yo, bro, I'm not that dude that you could just run up on. I'm not that dude that you could say whatever you want to say. I'm a grown-ass man. You understand? I'm not that dude that you could say whatever you want to say to, because if you run up on me, I'm going to knock you the F out. And that's how that went, bro. And there's nothing I'm proud of. You understand? But you don't talk to grown men. I don't care what kind of YouTube show you got. I don't care what kind of, you want to go viral, you want to do this and you want to do that. You conduct yourself as a gentleman. You want to call yourself a reporter. You don't see all the reporters who went to school. You don't see all the reporters who got their degrees, who got, who worked up the ladder to become who they are, yelling and screaming and cursing and saying all kind of crazy shit to people. You don't see that. But if that's what you choose to do, you choose to do that, bro. I'm not the one you gonna do that to and then think it's gonna be all right to get on the elevator with me. I don't care where we at. I don't care where we at. What we gotta do, we gonna get it in. And I'm too grown and too old for that. But you're not gonna talk to me any kind of way. And you ain't gonna say whatever you wanna say to me, bro. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna disrespect me as a man and think it's all right to do that because you got a YouTube show. Because you want to go viral, you want to do like that, you be ending up. I want to go to the next subject, man. Let's go to the next one, bro, because this is going to go somewhere that it shouldn't even go, bro. For real, for real. We all too grown for this shit, bro. But I'm not to be disrespected, and I'm not going to disrespect nobody else. You feel me?
Right.
Yeah, but before we move on, man, let me just add one more thing to this. When Miss Wallace asked me to get on Nick Bloomfield documentary, I got on Nick Bloomfield documentary. That was like in 99, somewhere around there. I got on A&E documentary, 2001. I got on VH1, MTV. All these was in the early 2000s before there was even a YouTube telling the story. You understand? I sat down with each one of those crews about anywhere from 3 to 5 hours telling them everything. Telling them everything. That's why can't nothing come up. I was talking about how what Puff said about Suge, Pac, Big, everything. I told them everything. This stuff has been on, and I've been saying the same story since 99. I've been saying the same story since 97 when Miss Wallace set me in her living room. I ain't changed nothing, and I ain't gonna change nothing. You understand? There's certain things that you find out as we go, because you know my motto. Facts will change your feelings, but feelings can't change your facts. That's my motto, bro. So it's over the years, I found out some more stuff and some other things for professional people. People like myself that's higher than me, FBI agents. People who've been working on the case. You find out other things and you go on with that. With all these little young YouTubers and everything like that, you know, it's a couple of those guys who've been respectable. I'm going to pull them to the side because I'm going back down there. Don't think that I'm not going to be going down there, bro. I'm going back down there. You understand? So now, some of those YouTubers that's been respectable, you understand? I might like, yo, you can give me a question, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'll give you one question. You know what I'm saying? Because they was respectable when I come down there, they respectable. Now, people think I'm hiding. I'm not hiding, bro. You understand? I'm not hiding from nothing. These people don't do their due diligence, bro. When they come out here and they want to do a show, they don't do their due diligence. They let anybody come on their platform that got a salacious story about anybody and say, oh, they told me. That don't mean a god thing, bro. Because somebody told you some bullshit. That don't mean nothing, bro. Do your due diligence if you want to have a successful channel. But if you just want to go viral, remember, you got to protect your neck. And I'm gonna give you something right now, because I don't want people to go and look at what they want to say because this dude want to go viral and stuff like that. I can beg any money. Gene Deal and Diddy never stayed at the Intercontinental in Atlanta. Never. We stayed at the Swiss Hotel. Do you hear what I'm saying? We never stayed at the Intercontinental in Atlanta. That's why I knew this shit was bogus. We always stayed at the Swiss Hotel. You will not find a debit, a credit, or any kind of card because you got to put your card up for room for your incidentals in your rooms. You will never find no card at the Intercontinental with Gene Deal name on there. None of that. Because I don't care whoever you travel with and whatever you did, they could be paying for the hotel. You always had to put a card up for your incidentals to your room. And we never stayed at the Intercontinental. So people could come up here and be bogus and tell lies and say whatever they want to say for the views, to go viral. It's all right. Just protect your neck.
So, yeah, man, that was part one. I want to get into part two in a little while because I thought that was a very interesting interview by Gene Deal. Hold on one second, you guys. Yeah, I thought it was a very interesting interview by Gene Deal. He actually been going down to the courthouse. Hold on, you guys. Hold on one second. Let me get this right. Hold on, you guys. Hold on. So yeah, man. In the court right now, Diddy's lawyers arguing some points right now, right? Stacy, salute to you. I see you in the Cash App with the donation. I appreciate it. Shout out to Stacy in the Cash App with the donation. Also, salute to Jesse BKS with the donation as well. I appreciate you. And salute to everybody that's been tapping in, supporting, and showing love to the channel, man. Much love to all of y'all. You know, everybody that's been 10 toes on this thing, man. I appreciate all y'all support too. Y'all hit the like button too. Make sure y'all hit the like button and share this video. Now let me let y'all know what's going on in the courthouse right now, right? Hold on one second. Let me all right. So as they go in the courtroom this morning, right? They bring Diddy in, right? So Diddy's lawyer was in there in the holding cell with Diddy, right? And the judge says, let's start with the compilation video. The judge said, I got this letter. The judge says, is Mr. Garcia competent to testify about this video given his position in the hotel security? The government said, I'm not really asking him about that aspect. The judge says, we're not using the correct cell phone video, so this could get under the rules. Diddy's lawyer says the way the video is cut makes it appear that Diddy came right after Cassie, and he didn't. Is Diddy lawyers crazy as hell? The government says, I like to address the timestamps on the security videos. They are routinely inaccurate. The judge said the defense's concerns should be allayed by inserting breaks between the clips. Since they will be testifying, says the government, it's hard for them to be editing the clips at the same time. We don't think it's misleading. The judge said the defense, they can cross-examine on this. So the judge being fair, he's not going to throw it out. He's not throwing the tape out. Right? So the defense is trying to undo your mind and what you saw in those videos. They say, oh no, see, it wasn't like that. He didn't come after Cassie like that. It wasn't right after that. Man, them people crazy as hell. Hold on, we got a mic check. Hold on, y'all. All right, hold on one second. Better now. Press one if it's better right now. They always trying to do something to the content, bro. Y'all press one. Can y'all hear me now? Is it clear now? Man. They always trying to, bro, this is crazy. That's why I gotta do all these mic checks and stuff like that, man. Bro, stream y'all. Y'all gonna get people their money back if y'all can't get this stuff right, man. Real talk, man. Because this is a paid service that we pay for each month. And to have to come in here after I've already checked the mic to do a mic check again and again and again, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable, man. They ruin it. It's ruining the quality of the show, everything. Anyways, though, as I said to you guys, so Diddy's lawyers, they're trying to fight every aspect of this case. They want to fight these tapes. They want to fight the witnesses. I mean, they're running out of time. Diddy's lawyers are really running out of opportunities. They got to try to discredit everything in this case, which is just crazy that they're even trying to argue that tape. And they even put out the full 15-minute version. They're still trying to argue about this tape. These lawyers are crazy as hell. But I mean, I understand. The guy's paying y'all all this money. You got to make up something. You know, you have to make up something. You're paying him all this. He's paying you all this money. You got to make up something to try to keep it going. You know, they got an old saying, it's called fake it till you make it. And that's what Diddy's lawyers are doing. So they going out here snapping on people, trying to humiliate people. And listen, they're trying to win in the court of public opinion. The problem is you got to win in the court of law. And when people say, oh, man, look how these people acting, man, I ain't worried about that in court, man. When them jurors get back there and go into deliberation and they see the facts, his ass going to jail. Period. Going to prison, I should say. That's all there is to it. It should let you know what their character is, that they're, you know what I'm saying, arguing about, I ain't gonna say it, man. Forget it. Forget it, bro. I ain't gonna say it. Like I said before, man, morals and ethics, man. You know what I mean? Morals and ethics, right? And that's just what it is. And remember, they still haven't sealed up all the loose ends on all the other things they've accused him of. They will. And let me remind y'all of this, because this part is very important too. And I can't stress this enough. Bro, ladies, gentlemen, in court, I'm going to say this one more time. In court, ladies and gentlemen, let me be clear with everybody about something, right? In court, because I want y'all to hear what I'm saying now. In court, right? Diddy's lawyers these people are trying to, let me say this to y'all. They're hoping for one juror. That lets y'all know they don't think this dude is innocent. They're hoping for one juror. Not that this dude is found innocent, not guilty. They're hoping for one juror to get a mistrial. That lets you know they full of shit. But let me say this too, right? Let me say this too, right? Hold on, y'all. I got a new update. Let me say this. I got a new update. Hold on, you guys. Sound is blurry again? No, I think that's somebody from behind. Y'all press 1 in the comment section if the sound is clear. Press 1 in that comment section if the sound is clear. I thought I fixed it. Okay, it's clear. I appreciate y'all. Yeah. Anyways, the government says, given that the defense played the video of Mia's birthday video for Diddy, we want to introduce recording of his jail calls. Man. About organizing social media celebrations of his birthday, which he views as a way to change the narrative. Wow. The government's coming with it now. The government says, given that the defense played the video of Mia's birthday video for Diddy, we want to introduce recording of his jail calls about organizing social media celebrations of his birthday, which he views as a way to change the narrative. And y'all wonder why a lot of things are happening on social media. Certain things are being said. Well, the government says they have proof. They have proof that he organized social media celebrations of his birthday, which he views a way to change the narrative. Well, let's see what the judge says about that. Because, see, I told y'all, they can get petty. If they really want to get petty, bro, the feds can get petty. I know they got a whole lot they sitting on, they ain't even saying. I know this for a fact. You know, I think they got some things that they got just in case shit. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you want to play? You want to go low? Okay. Now we finna go real low since you want to play that game. Now we gonna bring in those videos. You know what I'm saying? We gonna bring in that stuff. If you've never now remember, y'all. Now remember where we at with it, right? Now the government also says, "Oh shit, y'all! This is some big time stuff, man." The government also says there was someone broadcasting Mia's name just outside the courthouse in Folly Square yesterday. We'd ask, right? Oh shit! Somebody just went crazy in the court, y'all. Somebody just said in the courtroom, Diddy, they're coming after you. Those motherfuckers. And the judge says, hey, court security officers, get them out of here. Somebody just got ran out of court right now, y'all. Somebody just got thrown out of court. They went off. Somebody went off in the back of the courtroom and said, Diddy, they're coming after you, man. Those motherfuckers. And the judge just threw somebody out of court. Mind you, all this is happening. The jury is not in the court yet. Boy, these people losing their mind. Somebody said something crazy. The judge got him out of court. The government was saying that somebody was broadcasting that name. And I told y'all, that's why we don't say no names on this channel. Because during this report, you cannot say names. I mean, especially because of our a single bone, hold on, y'all. You might be one of us. Hold on, y'all. Especially when you have people that are how should I say, that I have people that's in the courthouse. So I gotta be respectful of that.
Diddy a wild dude if he was moving like that.
Well, that's not only that. Even with, I think his name, Dante Nash, one of the stylists, he testified too, brother. That Dante Nash testified, and he was one of the stylists, and he was talking about how all of them say how Diddy beat Cassie. He even jumped on Diddy's back, him and that girl Mia, to stop Diddy from beating Cassie. You understand? So at least he was one of the individuals who's trying to stop. And he made the testimony that he didn't even want to come. They had to subpoena him to come because he had love for Diddy. But he got on the stand and he told his truth. He told what he saw, what he heard, and what he did. And he tied all that stuff up. People were saying Cassie was jealous and Cassie did this and Cassie did that. No. Diddy was coming after her. He made that clear to the jury that Diddy was coming after her. There was a lot of situations where Cassie was running from him. And he would use staff to try to find her, then go get her. There was times when Cassie didn't even want to go to the freak off. No means no. There was no telling him no. He would tell her, yo, I already spent this money. So you gonna do it. And this is the story that Deontay Nash was telling. And this is a dude who had love for Diddy, was calling Diddy. Even after him and Cassie broke up and Andre Harrell died, he called him for that. And who else died? Somebody else died, and he called him on that. He was staying in touch with Diddy. Tell him, yo, if you need anything, let me know, brother. Diddy was upset with him. Diddy said, yo, bro, that was foul. You should have told me that she was effing the trainer. And that was Cassie's husband. You understand? You should have told him. So, he felt some kind of way with him on that one. This dude, he was very convincing to the jury, and he was placing people like D-Rock, I think D-Rock and Paul, in situations whereas that they were using their protection status of Diddy to try to force people or bring people into those type of situations that were unlawful. And that's the freak offs. That was buying drugs and holding the drugs and things like that. And that's what's threatening people's lives and stuff. Having people terrified of them. And people got to understand, D-Rock wasn't nothing to play with. Everybody know about the Hot 97 situation where him and Nori and them got into a shootout, and the police found 65 rounds. 65 rounds, bro. Out there in front of Hot 97. They used to call it Shot 97. You know what I'm saying? Because all that situation, all that shit that happened out there. So now, you know what I'm saying? They know D-Rock was nothing to play with. And so they were scared. They was terrified.
All right, you guys. So I told you guys something had happened in the courthouse. Some crazed person just went off in the courthouse just now. And the judge, he basically, had that person escorted out of the court. Now, the judge says the video timestamps, how long is it? If it's 40 minutes, it'd be a good full 3 argument. Diddy's lawyer said, well, this can be an easy fix, but the witness on this will be on the stand in 2 hours. The judge says, where does he live? New York? The government says he lives in Florida. Right? So they're having long conversations this morning before the jury even gets in the courthouse. They're having long conversations. But yeah, a juror just went crazy. Not a juror, excuse me. A person in the courthouse just went crazy. And that's the crazy part about this whole situation. Right? Oh, you better believe. The feds, they got everything lined up. Don't worry about it. All that stuff these people talking about, all these people, Brian stealing them. The only reason, I'm gonna tell y'all something. The reason why Brian Steele is going after them girls saying, oh, me too, money grabber and all this other stuff. The reason why they're saying that is for the civil lawsuits. They're trying to fight those off as much as possible. They know they're gonna get found guilty. They know that. Brian Steele, all them people that they know they're getting found guilty. Because of what's coming after this. Diddy cannot deny all the stuff they got coming after this. Y'all got to remember, they still got way more people to come in now after the fact. So it is way more people that's at a higher level who know more information, who are more privy in this situation. Once they bring them people in, man, it's over with. Them people know, the people they got now were lower level people. People like stylists, people like somebody's friend, people like this. Bro, now when you start bringing the high ranking people in there, remember, they haven't brought no high-ranking people in there. Remember what I just said. When they start bringing them high-ranking people in there, man, game over. We ain't got nothing else to talk about.
All of them.
So this guy, Deontay Nash, he knew that Cassie was sleeping with the trainer that Diddy hired.
He knew of the relationship, and they didn't get into it or when he found out or when did he knew. No, but he was close to Cassie. He just made the statement that Diddy was upset with him and say, brother, you could have told me that she was effing the trainer. Because, at the same time that he was paying the trainer to train her, she messed with him, allegedly. But she was through with him. But he was still paying the trainer. Whether it was to train him, Cassie, or whoever, he was still on the payroll.
Damn, and you don't think that's a little messed up?
How's it messed up? So, as a man, he could sleep with Gina, Young Miami, Kim Porter, another chick, whoever the F he want to, and then Cassie supposed to wait on him? Cassie don't supposed to do nothing, wait on his ass whoopings and his freak offs? That's all you saying that she's supposed to be good for, brother? How is that messed up? For you young folks, the grannies used to tell us, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. You understand? You know what I'm saying? If a man could do it, a woman could do it. So she found her solitude in the trainer. Evidently, he was something positive for her because they went on and got married, and they're working on their third child, I think. Still getting paid from Diddy. Still spending Diddy money. Good for him. That's what I say. He still spend like I said, bro. They still spending Diddy money, man, and that's because the stuff that he did, bro. He was doing things like, and this was I forgot to say this, man, but I want to bring this up to you. Deontay Nash told the jury about Puff threatening Cassie. Like, they was driving off. They was about to drive off. You understand? Leave. And they had the car, the truck, whatever, stop. And he told Cassie that he was going to release the porn tapes that he had of her to the internet. Now, he was taking Cassie's phone and shooting her doing a porn, and he wasn't in it. He was doing shit like that, taking her phone, shooting the porn, her doing the porn with the dude, and she wasn't in it, and then taking it and transferring over to whatever, however y'all do that, you know, copy, paste, whatever, or file this, file that. He was doing that, so he had all the tapes of her, and then told her that he gonna send a copy to her mama's job, to her mama, and her mama's job. Your brother is a bitch ass band, you know what I mean? And I'm gonna release this to the internet. And Deontay Nash let the jury know that Puff threatened her like that to keep her under siege to do the freak offs and stuff like that, even though she didn't want to anymore.
How much damage do you think his testimony did to Diddy case?
I think because Deontay Nash, first, he didn't want to be there. He didn't want to come. He had to be subpoenaed. And that he was saying how much he still was cool and cared for Diddy. That he cared for Diddy. That his testimony at that point in time was probably one of the most damaging because he had no malice or no problem with Diddy. He just got in there and told his truth and told what he saw and told what he had. And then when when the defense tried to go at him, they couldn't break him on nothing. So him showing where the Rico come in at, by the threats, by the criminal enterprise, holding things over there, using bodyguards, using other people, paying stuff with the bad boy money. That was a damaging testimony. I think his was probably, at this time, was probably one of the most damaging.
Yeah, man, and I agree with what Gene said about that. I think that guy, that stylist, I think he had probably one of the most damning testimonies. Him and Kid Cudi, I believe it's those two that had the most damaging testimonies against Diddy. I think those two right now, man. To be honest with y'all, so far, I think those have been the two. And then that one, the other girl, the white girl, who basically came in and she had a beef with Cassie, but she also vouched for Cassie. But the fact that she don't like Cassie no more, gives her even more credibility. The fact that she still came in and testified, even though she don't talk to Cassie and she don't like Cassie. You know? So, yeah, man. Most definitely. Most definitely. Salute to everybody that's tapped in, man. Appreciate all y'all that's coming in the chat, man. Much love to all of y'all. Yeah, I told y'all that they kicked the person out. I told y'all that already. Did I tell y'all that? Mofo went there and started acting crazy. You know what I'm saying? Michelle, y'all keep saying this girl's name. She don't have nothing to do with this case. The girl's name that you keep saying in the chat room, she have nothing to do with this case. I don't know who have told y'all this stuff. Foxy Nyla, I don't know who have told y'all this stuff. Who telling y'all this stuff? Bro, this is crazy work. Y'all keep bringing up stuff that's not even involved in this case. That's the crazy part. It's like somebody keep coming in comment sections saying that girl name over and over and over again. She don't have nothing to do with this case. Nothing. It's crazy to me. And when you look at it, man, I'm just looking at it like, man, this is crazy work, man. Crazy work, man. Man, listen. Man, there's something wrong with a lot of these people. I'm just telling y'all what the real is, bro. Something wrong with a lot of these people, man. Crazy work. Crazy work. So the judge made some changes. The judge says that jurors, there are some scheduling modifications, including that on June the 11th, we will not start until 1 p.m. Also, June the 5th, from 11 to 4 p.m. And June the 20th, the day after Juneteenth, we'll stop at 1 p.m. So they said call your witness. So the judge, he's changed up times on here for certain days. So they got some days coming up that they changed at the times on, y'all. You know what I'm saying? They have changed up to times on some of these days. And y'all smash the like button. Y'all come on and shout out to Leslie and the cash app coming through with a $40 donation. Salute to you. I appreciate it. You know what it is. You know what it is. Shout out to the homegirl Leslie, man. Showing love. Appreciate it. Yeah, you know what's up. Yeah, y'all smash the like button and share the video, man. I got stung by a bee last night. That's what that joint hurt me real bad. God dog, man. Boy, I got stung by a bee. Twice. I got one in my hand and in my back. Excuse me, Jazzy Creations. Nobody says she's lying. What the hell is you talking about? Don't come on my channel talking about some victim shaming. Know your role and shut your damn mouth. You don't even know what the hell you're talking about. Shut the hell up. What I'm saying to you is she ain't involved in this case. I didn't say she's lying. I said that they're lying saying she's involved in this case. Shut your mouth. The hell is wrong with you? I'm damn near the only one that's out here taking up for the victims. Sit down and shut the hell up. The hell is wrong with you? Listen to what I said. I said she don't have nothing to do with this case. Not that what she's saying is lies. The hell is wrong with these people, man? Come around here spreading lies on my channel. Listen to what I said. I said you're talking about somebody that's not involved in this case. What's wrong with people? Hey, people ain't got no mind. This case Everybody in the chat room heard me when I told her. I said, yo, she ain't got nothing to do with this case. This case. Yo, come in here trying to turn up on me. And you don't even listen to what I say. Then nobody say, hey, yeah, she lying about it. I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about this case. I said people are lying saying she's involved in this case. Lord have mercy, man. I swear, bro, it's the comprehension level of some of these people, man. It's sad, bro. It's sad, man. You get on YouTube, man, and it's like this is why, and the people like you, ma'am, are the reason why a lot of dudes don't take the route that I take. They don't want to defend y'all because of your nasty ass attitude. This is the reason why. This is the reason why a lot of them cats, they question me and why I even stand up for y'all. Because of shit like what you doing. Crazy work, man. Crazy work. Oh, come in. The one thing you ain't gonna do is lie on me. That's one. I don't care what you say. You're not gonna lie on me. I'm coming here talking about some, hey, you're victim shaming. Shut the hell up. I'm the only one taking up for the goddamn victims. The hell is you talking about? I'm the only real man out here that's standing on that. You come out here running, bumping your gums. You lost your goddamn mind. The hell wrong with you? Better sit your ass down somewhere. And tell your husband if he wanna cash it, I got that check for that ass too. Coming here all disrespectful and dishonorable. This is the reason why people, and I'm gonna say it again, this is the reason why people don't want to take up for these women. Because when you do, you get people like her coming here just saying anything. She ain't even listening to what I said. We talking about this case. This case. I didn't say, hey man, that girl out here lying about everything. I never said that. I said she's not involved in this case. I don't know why y'all keep saying her name when she's not involved in this case. The government says they call Eddie Garcia. They say, hey, what did you work on the day in question? Eddie Garcia says, the Intercontinental Hotel. I was told there was an incident involving Sean Combs. The government says, do you see him here? Brian Steele, he's going to be the one doing the cross-examine. Boy, they love Brian Steele. Diddy loved Brian Steele so much. Diddy said, hey, Brian Steele, you're going to do the cross-examine on all these witnesses. Man, Diddy don't put Brian Aluminum. That's what they call him in the comment section. Brian Aluminum. We don't call him Brian Steele. Brian Aluminum. He don't put him on the cross of this guy. Diddy's like, oh, we stipulate. Stipulate what? Show ass down somewhere. Brian Steele got to be the most overrated lawyer I've ever seen. What major cases he won got not guilty verdict on? Tell me. Johnny Cochran was around here getting not guilty verdicts. Period. What the hell are we talking about? Brian Steele come around here getting some of the worst deals known to mankind. They out here calling this man the great Brian Steele. Great what? You got to actually be putting in some work to be called great. Johnny Cochran was out here routinely getting not guilty verdicts in major cases. Not no, one juror fell out, so we had a mistrial and this said no. Some rinky dink plea deal. Nah. Johnny Cochran was out here. Yeah, the defendant, the jury finds the defendant not guilty. Yeah, that's greatness. That's greatness. But y'all done brought Brian Aluminum out here and done sold y'all a whole dream. And they think this man ain't did nothing. What have he done? Somebody got to tell me, what major cases have Brian Aluminum won where he got not guilty verdict? I'm talking about outright won. Do he have any on his name? Just somebody got to tell me. That's all I want to know. Man, look, man. Crazy work, bro. So, so the government says, let me show you your sign-in sheet for that day. Eddie Garcia says, yeah, I signed that week ending March 10th, 2016. The government says, could you monitor all the cameras? He says, not at all, but more than one at a time. The government says, would you be required to check the monitors? He said, yes. Yeah, they out here giving Brian Steele all these points for doing nothing. What? Somebody got to tell me this. Everybody run around here talking about Brian Steele great. What major case have he won? This dude ain't on no Johnny Cochran level. He ain't on no Johnny Cochran level. Bro, they be out here praising this dude, acting like he did something. Crazy work. That man, tell me, that's all I'm asking for. Tell me the major case that he's got not guilty verdict on. But so I'm telling y'all that you get praised for mediocrity. Crazy. You go in the courtroom, hoot and holler a couple times, and everybody talk about you great. Come on, man. Stop this. Stop this. You got to have some championships under your belt to be great. He ain't nowhere near Johnny Cochran league. Like I said, Johnny Cochran was having major cases and getting found not guilty. Major cases. Think about what I said. Major cases. Somebody said he didn't bust up a case. All right, so let me go ahead and cook you respectfully, my sister. I'm going to respectfully cook you because you a sister. I'm going to respectfully cook you because you ain't even come disrespectful. But you said he didn't bust up a case, but he made a witness look a bit unreliable in a way. No, he didn't. I'm going to tell you why. Because the feds will do what they always done. They're going to have somebody else come up there that's in a higher position to back up what she said. And then that's going to null and void all that foolishness he was hooting and hollering on the stand. Case closed. See, let me tell you something, ma'am. They can call Cassie a liar. They can call the girl Mia a liar. They can call all those people liars. Guess who they ain't going to keep calling liars? The people who are in the higher positions that's going to come in the courtroom and vouch that they were telling the truth. All the people they continue to name in this court. Doesn't matter if the jury was laughing. The jury have a right to laugh. When they get in that deliberation room, Diddy gonna cry. Like I said before, you haven't even gone into the fourth quarter of this thing yet. Okay, April. Yeah, you haven't even gone into the fourth quarter of this thing yet. You guys got to see this. We're not even in the fourth quarter. We ain't even at halftime yet. We're not even at halftime. This is the part that people don't understand. All them people I'm telling y'all about, they bringing them in at the end. That's how you end with a bang. You let Diddy, see, this is how I know these people don't know how to walk people down. What you do is you let Diddy and his team say all these people are liars. That's what you do. And then what you do is, in the end, you bring in the big dogs to say, no, all those people are telling the truth. And now what do? You discredit Diddy and all these other people for sitting up here demonizing all these girls. And you prove exactly what has been going on the entire time. That's the part y'all don't understand. They're falling right into the government's trap. Because the witnesses the government have, when they walk their ass in that courtroom at the end of this trial and put a top on this thing, it's over with. That's the part y'all don't understand. Y'all haven't even seen half that. Bro, these dudes they've been playing with y'all. All the big names haven't even testified yet. The only name that y'all knew that was big that testified was Kid Cudi so far. And that's because he had a smaller role in this with the car situation. Outside of that, y'all haven't heard all the big names, the security staff and the high-ranking assistants and One Stop and all these. Y'all haven't heard none of them people. Say the best for last, baby. Say the best for last. Right? That's the part y'all don't understand. Diddy's team is falling into their trap. They want Diddy's team to try to come out here and bully all these witnesses. So when they come in the end with evidence and undisputable facts and higher ranking people that are going to corroborate damn near everything these other witnesses have said from Cassie on, it's going to destroy them. You're not going to be able to say everybody's lying. You know why? Because all those people that were closer to Diddy understood way more than the people who were on lower levels. That's why y'all don't understand how this thing works. What you thought? You thought the Fed's going to bring everything out hard first and then slow down late? No, they coming with it. That's why I already told y'all, Victim 2, it's going to get ugly with Victim 2. Victim 2 coming today or tomorrow, it's finna get super ugly with her. Think it's a game. Y'all finna see on Victim 2. Victim 2 finna open Pandora's box. They think, and they stupid enough to think this is all about Cassie. Nope. So the government says, did you originally recognize the individual involved in this incident? Mr. Garcia says, not at first, but when I look closer, yes, it was Mr. Sean Combs. The government says, and did you learn who the second individual was? He said, yes, Mrs. Cassie Ventura. The government says, why was law enforcement not called? He says, because Cassie did not request it. The government says, did you review the incident report? He said, yes, there was an attachment that I didn't open on the computer, a video file. The government says, did you receive a call? He said, yes. Now, see, let me tell you something. This is the reason why he had to get immunity. He just admitted a crime. Ron, hold your horses before I say something. This is the reason why. He just committed a crime. Once they saw what happened on that videotape, the hotel security immediately are supposed to call the authorities. That is why he is involved in this Rico in obstruction of justice and helping Diddy obstruct justice. Because not only did he do his job as a security to call the cops, but he also allegedly took a payment, which we're going to hear about in a few minutes, to cover this up. That's what you got to understand about, ladies and gentlemen. This is the part that you guys are not understanding. Game over. Game over. So here's the point what I'm trying to tell you guys, right? As they doing a sidebar right now. Here's the point of what I'm telling you guys right here. And I want to explain this to y'all again. Is much as I say I can, I want to explain this to y'all, right? Right? I want to explain this to y'all, right? In this case, it is unique because when you look at the hotel security staff, once you see a person getting assaulted, there's not on them to call the cops because you don't know the relation of this person and that woman. You see a person getting assaulted on the videotape, they were automatically supposed to call the cops. The fact that he didn't, that's a crime within itself. That's the part y'all don't understand. That's a crime within itself. Hold on one second, y'all. Smash the like button, share the video as y'all come on in. So yeah, you know, I'm just telling y'all what it is. Now smash the like button, share the video as y'all come on in here, man. Right? But y'all not seeing, a lot of people don't see the stuff that I'm saying to y'all, but what I'm saying to y'all is real, bro. It's real. Alexandra, salute to you. I appreciate it. Much love to you. Much love to you. Alexander. Alexandra. Alexandria, I think that's how you pronounce your name. My bad. Also, shout out to Michelle Gilliard with the donation. She says, always the truth coming from Ticket. Salute to you. And shout out to my girl Peachy Brown with the donation. She says, good morning, Ticket. You have been killing it for us and appreciate you and all your work. Everyone should become a member of all your channels. They are the best. Salute to you, ma'am. I appreciate it. And Juna says, Ticket, why do you think Trump gave the answer he did with talking about Diddy's part? Diddy's about to snitch on the DNC? Nah, man, ain't that deep. I don't think Trump really cared. Shout out to Angel Face with the donation. Salute to you. I appreciate it. Shout out to everybody that's sending donations, man. If y'all want to donate the Cash App, PayPal link pinned at the top of the chat, let me know what y'all think, baby. But yeah, that's just how I feel about it. You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel about it. Right? But yeah, that's I mean, if you look at it the way I'm telling y'all, if you look at it like that, yeah, y'all know what it is. Right? Now, let's get to this. And I told y'all they're setting up for the grand finale, right? So he said he learned it was, Cassie. And he says, well, why didn't he call law enforcement? He says Cassie didn't request it. That's not Cassie's job to request it. Your hotel security, dog. Somebody fighting in your hotel, you're supposed to call the cops instantly. You see a man beating up a woman like that, you're supposed to call the cops instantly. That's not even supposed to be a question. Then the government says, did you review the incident report? He says, yeah, there was an attachment that I opened on a computer, a video file. And he says, did you receive a call? He says, yep. The government said, from who? Remember I told y'all the feds lining everything up? Y'all don't want to listen? He said he got a phone call from Christina Coram with an NY area code. She asked if I had the video. Game over, Diddy. All you Diddyites about to bite the dust, nigga. Because like I told y'all, in the end, the grand finale, we dogs for life. They're going to bring out the big dogs on them to clear up everything in the end. And I told y'all this. It is going to be BET Rap City when this thing is over with. He said he got a phone call from Christina Coram with an NY area code. She asked if I had the video. The government says, what did she ask for? He said, the video. She says that Diddy had been intoxicated and didn't remember exactly. Brian Steele screams, objection! The judge says, sustained. The government says, sidebar. To the person who says, has Christina Coram flipped yet? Like pancakes. I mean, I just gave you a simple answer. I gave you a simple answer. Shout out to Brother Gary in the Cash App donation. Salute to you, man. He says, tickets stay cooking. Bro, listen. You got to on YouTube, bro. You ain't cooking anything in my area, bro. Anything come over in my area, it's getting cooked, dog. We ain't even got no back and forth. Anything's getting cooked. Period. Right? I'm just telling y'all what it is. Right? But listen, to the person who says get KK up there, she said, listen, everything in due time. Everything in due time. You guys got to understand, you save the best for last. Y'all don't even understand the art of war, man. It's sad how so many people on YouTube do not understand the art of war. In the art of war, you don't put your big guns out there first. You don't. Lebowski. In the art of war, you save your big dogs for last. Let me repeat myself again. You save the big dogs for last. Because what it is you let everybody else get all their testimony in and let Diddy's team call all of them liars. And then what you do is you bring them in at the end to verify everything all those other people that got demonized by the people. And like I said, all this shit these people have been talking about, these victims, they can't take it back in the end. After the truth comes out, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard out here for... Y'all already know what it is. So the government said, what did Christina Coram tell you? Eddie Garcia says that she would have to talk to management. The government says, did she reach out again? Eddie Garcia said, yes. I got a call from the lobby that she was there looking for me. The government says, what did she ask for? Eddie Garcia says she wanted that video. The government said, how did you respond? Eddie Garcia said that she had to talk to management or file a subpoena. The government says, did you tell her what you saw in the video? Eddie Garcia said, yeah, I told her off the record. It's bad. The government says, did you get another call? Eddie Garcia said, yeah, I got another call from a New York area code. Oh, can you spell Rico? Can you spell Rico? Can you spell Rico? Oh, to Ron says the jury's not convinced. Ron, I'm sorry, sir. You can't go off looks with the jury. You can't go off actions with the jury. You can only go off what the jury does when they come out after deliberation, sir. So I wouldn't even pay no attention to the jury, sir. If you've ever watched juries before in cases, jurors have laughed before. Jurors have looked sad before. Doesn't matter. What matters is when they go back in that room by themselves and deliberate. That is what matters the most. What evidence you put in front of their face. And that's it. See, let me explain something to you, Ron. You're listening to what other people are saying. But what you need to understand is the facts of the case and the facts of the human reactions. So let me say this to you, sir. Human reaction is this. You may see something and you may say, oh, nah, I don't agree with her. I don't believe what she's saying. But you may believe a different witness. And if you believe that witness and you believe that still makes you believe that crime. So just because you don't believe one witness, if they got 30 witnesses, it's still enough to convict. Know your role and shut your mouth. And that is if you smell. If you smell. If you smell what the rock is cooking. Shout out to my boy Xavier coming through, $25 donation in the Cash App. Salute to you, brother. And he said, ticket hand out ass whoopings. Boy, like hotcakes. Like hotcakes, brother. Like hotcakes. I'm on a different level, dog. You already know this. I'm on a different level, brother. So, Eddie Garcia says, the government says, well, did you get another phone call? Eddie Garcia said, yeah, from a New York area code. Eddie Garcia said, it was Christina Coram. She put someone else on the phone. The government said, who? Mr. Garcia said, Sean Diddy Combs. And he asked, do you know who I am? The government says, what did you say? Garcia said, I said yes. He asked for the video. He said he had been intoxicated. I told him, I can't give you that video, dog. Oh, it's going down. You want to talk about Rico, buddy? I told you, you should get real surgical around this thing. The government said, how did he sound? Eddie Garcia said he was talking fast and stuttering. He sounded nervous. The government said, did you email management? Eddie Garcia said, yes. The government said, bring up evidence. Exhibit GX 7R 149 to the court. What is this? Eddie Garcia said, that is the email I sent. Brian Steele said, objection! The judge says, Brian Aluminum, sit your Rudy Poo candy ass down. Overruled. He didn't say Rudy Poo candy ass. He said overruled. Brian Aluminum got shut down again, sucker. But this y'all great one, right? This y'all savior, Brian Aluminum. Yeah, all that tough, hardcore talking ain't gonna get you out of this, Brian Aluminum. Because you're morally bankrupt. Yeah, that's what I think about you. Straight like that, sir. You know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah. Smash the like button as y'all come on in here now. Share and subscribe. Baby, bye.
Estoy esperando el mensajero, mi hermano.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And to my brother from Puerto Rico. ¿Cómo está, hermano? ¿Todo bien? Tú sabes, Brian's un payaso. Tú sabes, hermano. And all the people in French say oui, oui. You already know, baby. Man, bro. Y'all boy getting cooked, man. What's up with him? Y'all boy getting cooked. Y'all boy getting cooked. What happened to him? Y'all boy Brian Aluminum out here getting cooked. What happened to Brian Aluminum? Come on, man. Should we call him Brian Paper Mache? Straight like that. Straight like that. What my girl Tony talking about? She said got cussed out by a lady who was unhinged. Man, them people going crazy. They already know what time it is. They Diddy ain't get ready to get locked up. They know. They already knew what it was today. Why you think they on high emotion today? Trying to throw out here deflection tactics. They out of here, bro. They know this shit is going down. So, ladies and gentlemen, as Brian Paper Mache have been overruled, they show the email and evidence. So the email is shown as Christina Corum's phone number on it, not redacted. They got her dead to rights. The email, as shown, has, in court in front of everybody right now, has Christina Corum's phone number on it, not redacted. And it says Combs, a.k.a. P. Diddy, says he is a patron and wants to talk to you. The government says, did you get more calls from Christina Corum? He said, yes, on my personal number. The government says, how did you react? He says, I was nervous. Remember the name. Brian Aluminum. The most overhyped lawyer in legal history. The guy who gets credit for not really doing anything as far as winning. Johnny Cochran was out here getting not guilty verdicts and double murder cases. But this guy right here, what have he really done? These people praise this dude like he don't, what have he done? Y'all gotta ask everybody, what have Brian Steele done? Except for get to one of the worst plea bargain deals in American history. What have he done? I'll wait for it. I'll wait for it. Ron says, you guys are naive. There is no justice. There is justice. And the reason why there is justice is because, let me tell you why, Ron. They had Epstein locked up until he got up out of here, right? Weinstein, he's on a retrial, but he's still locked up, doing a whole different sentence in a whole different state, right? R. Kelly's in prison, right? Know your role and shut your mouth, troll. You're a troll, sir. And I can keep cooking you all day if I wanted to. You easy work. A caveman can do this. This ain't the channel. If you want to come over here capping, this ain't the channel for you to be capping on, bro. You get cooked over here, bro. You come over here, you get cooked. Simple as that. You come over here, dog, you getting cooked, bro. Shout out to Desmond in the Cash App with the donation. Salute to you, brother. Salute to you, man. He said they hate on you, ticket. You stand up for what's right. I mean, it is what it is, bro. I ain't worried about it, dog. Small thing to a giant, nigga. You think I'm worried about that shit, man, nigga? I'm small thing to a giant. Nigga, in real life, I'm a giant, nigga. In real life, I'm blessed. I don't have to worry about what nobody else think about what I worry about what God feel about what I say. Period. Right? So for all the baby old bandits running around here, capping for Diddy, it is what it is. Hey, listen, they got a right to do whatever the hell they want to do, just like I do. Just like I do, sir. So it is what it is, man. You know what I mean? No, let Ron get his off, man. He gonna need to get all that steam off after this case is over with. That boy gonna be mad somewhere. That boy gonna be on 100 high somewhere. Now, Eddie Garcia says that he was nervous when Diddy called him again. Christina called him again, right? Christina called him again. He said he was nervous. Now, Eddie Garcia says Christina Coram passed the phone to Diddy again. The government said, well, what did he say this time? Eddie Garcia said he said that I sounded like a good guy and that he could help. If something like this could ruin him, he wanted the video. He said that the video got out, it would ruin his career. And y'all have it. Eddie Garcia says, I said I didn't have access to the server. He told me he believed I could make it happen. He would take care of me. The government says, what do you mean? Or what do you think he meant? Eddie Garcia says, money for the video. The government says, what did you do? Eddie Garcia says, I reached out to my supervisor about it. Rico. Can you spell Rico? Using Christina Coram to help a person who's employed by your business to help you cover up criminal activity? Easy, Rico. Easy, Rico. And they got you dead to rights on the email with her phone and you linked to it. You're done, son. The government said, who was your supervisor? Eddie Garcia says, Bill Madrano. And shout out to Josephine X with a $28 donation to the Cash App. Salute to you, or to the PayPal. Salute to you, my sister. Much love to you for pulling up and stunting on them. You understand? I salute you for that. He says, Bill Madrano was my supervisor. He told me he would do it for 50. The government says, what do you think that meant? Eddie Garcia said he'd give the video for $50,000. The government says, what did you do? Eddie Garcia says, I called Christina, who put Diddy on the phone. He called me Eddie, my angel. Brian Aluminum. Got his ass. Got him. And if you want to bet money, tickets willing to bet anybody any amount of money that the feds come up somehow with Christina Coram later on. And the feds later on put Christina Coram on the stand to verify that that is her email, that is her phone number. She did aid and abet in these and other crimes. So all that cheap talk these dudes been doing, trying to tear down all those victims, you going to jail, prison, for life. New world order. Oh, yeah. For the love of money, people will rob their own. For the love of money, 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 money. People will rob their own brother for the love of money. People will for the love of money. Money, 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 money. This is how we do it. This is how we do it. It's Friday night, and I feel all right. The party's here on the west side. Let's keep going. Right? So, Mr. Eddie Garcia says Diddy then told him, I knew you could do it. Let's do it right away. I told Bill Madrano. The government said, what did he do? Eddie Garcia said he went into the server room. Then he handed me a black USB and said, done. The video was in the USB. The government says, what did you do? Eddie Garcia says, I told Mr. Combs. The government says, where did Diddy want to meet? He said Diddy wanted to meet in West LA. He said, let's get this done. He wanted the video as soon as possible. I told Bill Madrano. He told me to tell others I was on an errand for him. The government says to the court, evidence, we'd like to enter exhibit GX 8A104. What hours did you list? Eddie Garcia says 10, 1800. Ooh. Ooh. Oh my God. And shout out to Stacy coming through with a $50 donation. She says, I love this channel. Salute to you. I appreciate you very, very much. I appreciate you very, very much. Right? The government says, where was the meeting point? Shout out to Nick Proctor with a $50 donation and the Cash App. Salute to you, brother. I seen you in the building, showing love. Appreciate it, dog. The government said, where was the meeting point? Eddie Garcia says, in a big high-rise building. I called the number, and someone came, said he was Sean Combs' bodyguard. The government said, how did he look? Eddie Garcia said he was an older African-American, heavy-set man, 6'3" to 6'5" in height. Rico, 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 Rico. It feels so good in my hood tonight. What? This is how we do it. Our hands are in the air and waving from here to there. If you an OG Mac or a wannabe player. Oh, man. Oh, my God. If you were from where I'm from, then you would know that I got to get mine in that big black truck. You can get yours in the... Oh, Brian Aluminum. Oh, man. Brian Aluminum, man. How you going to scream your way out of this? Your tactics are going to get old, Brian Aluminum. They're going to get tired of hearing you scream all the time in that courtroom, man. You got to do more than scream on people, bro. You have to come with some substance, Brian Aluminum. You're going to have to come with some substance, brother. The government says, well, what did he say? That he kind of came up with Diddy. That he was a good guy and I was doing a good thing. The government says, upstairs, he said that Diddy was smiling and called me Eddie, my angel. He said my voice was cracking, so I said I was coming down with something. Y'all know how Diddy was probably doing. You know, love. 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 Deeper and deeper. It's gonna get deeper, y'all. Cause he coming too. The money man. For the love of money, people will rob their own mother. For the love of money, people will murder their own brother. For the love of money, 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 money. Love. Y'all throw them L's up for Diddy. Cause this nigga taking a loss, nigga. Love. Yes, sir. See, I told y'all this. You can beat me, nigga. I'm gonna win. I'm gonna win, nigga, because I'm a winner, nigga. Point blank period. I'm gonna be on the right side of history, nigga. You understand what I'm saying? The whole world like ticket. What the F you on vacation? Riding in a Maybach Benz. Right? Oh yeah. Diddy said he's his angel. Yeah, I bet you he said something more than that too. You understand what I'm saying? Did he say anything about cakes? Did he say anything about cakes? You know? Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes. Shout out to Jamal in the Cash App with the donation coming through with $100. Jamal, you can pass me $100. Salute to you, ma'am. Salute to you. I appreciate it. Much love to you. Thank you for showing love. Now, he said his voice was crackling as Diddy, was saying this stuff to him and he was talking. He said, so I told Diddy I was coming down with something. Eddie Garcia says Diddy told Christina Coram to go get me some of the tea that he liked. Then he asked, do you have it? I said, yes. And I handed it to him. Government said, what did he do? Eddie Garcia said he left, came back, and said, was this the only copy? The government said, and what did you say? Eddie Garcia said, I believe so. Eddie Garcia said, Diddy said it had to be the only copy. Nothing in the cloud. I called Mr. Madrano, and he said it was the only copy. He took it off the server. The government said, what else did you say? Eddie Garcia says, he said that if Cassie filed a complaint, he could get in trouble. Diddy is toast, nigga. That nigga is toast. That nigga just got cooked on the stand with evidence and open court. Rico, 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 Rico. Racketeering, Rico, bribery, obstruction of justice. Don't y'all understand that the feds have proven 2 for 1 in less than an hour? He's going to prison for life. For life. The feds have proven 2 of the Rico acts in 1 hour. Bribery, obstruction of justice. He's going to prison forever. They've proven that. All they have to do is prove 2. That's all they have to do. And Mr. Sugoi English, you must not have a brain, sir. Because you says, have they proved it through an organization, Janet Jackass? They've already shown in evidence in court that he used it through Christina Coram and his employees, the security staff that facilitated him. He's dead meat, dummy. They showed the email with her number and him discussing this entire videotape, was getting it from the hotel. They just showed it in open court, you damn fool. What the hell is wrong with you? You big dummy. Are you not listening? They showed in open court the email, not only with Christina Coram's name, but her personal phone number and Diddy's information linked, and Eddie Garcia. Federal. Do you understand now, brother? Happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you. Brian Aluminum is about to lose again. The next time you see Sean Diddy Combs will be in a max penitentiary. You won't see his ass no more for the rest of this century. Happy trails to you. You'll never see him again. Show ass the hell up out of here, boy. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. You understand what I'm saying? I really appreciate you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Much love to you. Love. Can I get a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen? Can I get a round of applause? It just proved 2 of the Rico acts in less than 1 hour. He's out of here, sucker. You don't even need all the other witnesses. They just proved 2 Rico acts through his organization in less than 1 hour with evidence they entered into court in front of the entire courtroom. You're done, son. Get his ass out of here. The Rico is the most dangerous. That's the life sentence. He's out of here, sir. Now, you want to keep playing this game with me? I don't see Rico. I see Rico lies you're telling. Because I see Rico. Straight like that. Rico lies. Now, it goes on to say, right? And let's get back to this part, right? He says that he told Diddy that if Cassie filed a complaint, he would get in trouble. He says, Diddy says, don't worry. Cassie wanted a gun too. He called Cassie on FaceTime and showed her. He said she was in a hoodie. But he said, I recognize Cassie. He's done. He FaceTime Cassie. Cassie, bro, you already know Cassie gonna testify. That is over with. It's over with, bro. The government said, well, what did Cassie say? Eddie Garcia said that she had a movie coming out and wanted this to not come out. Stockholm Syndrome. All the cases have been proved now. Everybody want to talk about Cassie and control and all this other stuff, man. This shows y'all right here that Cassie, she was the co-defendant who was getting the hell beat out of her. But when the feds came knocking on her door, she took that deal. People acting like Cassie just went and snitched on Diddy. No, that's not how it happened. It's not how it happened. Cassie tried to cash out with that nigga for all them ass whooping she took. Instead of Diddy just giving her $10 million and cashing her outside, that nigga tried to double dog there, and he didn't think she would do it, and she did. Then here comes the feds. Then Lil Rod already don't like you. He been hanging out with you recently, He allegedly gives the feds the whole layout because Kathy hadn't been with you. So Lil Rod gives the fed, he does the lawsuit himself, puts all these things in the lawsuit, all these different types of evidence, and gives them your whole layout, allegedly. You're done, son. You're out of here. Eddie Garcia says Diddy wanted his ID and that of Mr. Medrano and the responding officer, Mr. Flores. But he is a very straight guy and probably wouldn't do it, I told Bill Medrano. The government says, what did Mr. Medrano say? He says, we get Henry Elias, the other responding officer. Now you got police officers involved. It's over with, man. This nigga's done, bro. It's done, bro. It's done, bro. It's done, bro. They ain't gonna get around this one. They ain't gonna get around this one. And this shows more coercion and agreements with Cassie as well. It's over with, bro. Y'all go ahead. The fat lady have sung. They have proven 2 of the federal Rico acts in 1 hour. Proven. They've entered evidence in the court and proven that shit this morning. And y'all sitting up here talking about the feds on no. Man, y'all niggas crazy as hell. We do it for fun. Bad boys, bad boy. What you gonna do? Mm-hmm. See? You're right, buddy. You took the words out of my mouth. That's why Diddy's legal team wanted that tape thrown out of court. Because if you throw out that tape, you had to throw out all of this testimony about the buying of the tape, all of this stuff. But now that the tape has been entered into evidence, all this testimony goes along with it. He's done. He is done. He is done. Done. So Mr. Garcia says that when Diddy saw the IDs, he looked at Henry's ID, Henry Elias, the officer, and said, yeah, that's him. Then they brought in the non-disclosure agreements that I wouldn't speak about it. He got NDAs too, y'all. It's over with, bro. The government says, evidence. Exhibit GXC 106. We enter into the court today. Do you recognize this? Eddie Garcia says, yes. It states that I have provided the only copy of the video, which unfortunately for Diddy was a lie. Somebody went and got Diddy. It was a lie. You know why, Diddy? Because somebody loved money more than you loved it. Money, 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 money. Everybody's got a price to pay with the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase. Everybody's got a price to pay. He sold it to Diddy. Somebody else got that tape. We may find out today what happened to that other tape. I hope they tell us. I hope Mr. Eddie Garcia tells us what happened to the other copy. Did they sell the other copy to Cassie? Or did Cassie call them back and get the other copy in private? This may show the coercion, because if Diddy got Cassie to say that on FaceTime, and then Cassie turned back around, hit him back up and was like, yo, I need another copy of that tape. I don't feel right. That's going to prove the coercion, and that is going to prove the sex trafficking, and that is going to slam everything. It's going to show that he was coerced, that she was coerced through the whole situation. Because if he put her on FaceTime and she was like, nah, I wanted to be disappeared. I got a movie coming up, blah, blah, blah. But then she turns around, hits them up and says, hey, man, I need that copy of that video. I need that copy, please. That would show coercion. And that would show that Diddy, because this man has not attached to this case as far as all the sex trafficking and stuff. He has no reason to lie. Game over, sucker. This how you walk off the court like Michael Jordan in Game 6 in 1998. Let that thing hang on him. But I ain't even going to take the shot yet. I'm just on the way to getting 40. The last shot ain't came yet. But he's already done on the Rico. And here's the thing. How is Brian Steele going to argue evidence? The only thing Brian Steele going to do is come out here, or should I say Brian Aluminum? Brian Aluminum is going to come out here. Did you sleep with her? Did you have a relationship outside of your family household? Did you sleep with your neighbor? Did you do it? You're a Me Too bandit, sir. Did you sleep with your neighbor? I got a notice right here that said that you were late paying your rent. Were you late paying your rent, sir? I'm Brian Aluminum. I'm Brian Aluminum. Were you late paying your rent? I'm hardcore up here. This guy was late paying his rent. How can he talk about Diddy giving a payment and he was late paying his rent? Ladies and gentlemen of the jury. Now let's see what type of toilet paper Brian Aluminum pulls out of his ass on this one. He gonna have Eddie up there speaking in Spanish. It's gonna turn out to be Telemundo TV. I don't know. No sé, yo no sé qué pasó, pero tú sabes lo que pasó es que yo no sé por qué tú hablas conmigo así. Yo no soy un payaso. Yo solo quiero ir con mi familia. Yo tengo mucho amor por mi familia. No moleste mucho, por favor. No me gusta eso. De verdad, no me gusta eso. Suéltame amando, por favor. No me gusta. No. Así no, papá. No. That motherfucker Eddie gonna start talking in Spanish up there, nigga. It's gonna turn to Telemundo court in front of everybody. Straight like that. It's easy for me to cook these bones. It's easy work, man. Easy work, man. Shout out to Justina and the Cash App the donation. I appreciate you come through $30 donation. Salute to you, my sister. Much love to you. She got crying emojis. You already know what it is. So, Eddie Garcia says that he signed the NDA with Diddy that stated, and they showed the NDA in court, they entered in the evidence, that stated that he has provided the only copy of the video to Sean Diddy Combs. The government says, did you read it? Eddie says, no, I was nervous, man. The government says, were you given a copy? He says, no. The government says in the NDA, what were the liquidated damages? He says $1 million. $1 million were the liquidated damages. The government says, how much were you making? This man was making $10.50 an hour. That nigga Diddy's the devil, bro. That nigga Diddy is the devil, nigga. He the devil. He's a demon. You hit this man with $1 million liquidation on his NDA, and he was only making $10.50 an hour. That ain't nothing but the devil, nigga. That ain't nothing but the devil. Crazy work. How is Brian Aluminum gonna get him out of this? Everybody gonna come on YouTube today. Yeah, man, they proved the Rico, man. The only niggas that's gonna say no is niggas that's just lying. That's how you know at this point, man, when you can't take it serious, bro. You can't take it serious at this point. At first, it's just laughing. Like, yeah, go ahead, you know what I'm saying? Get your money, man. You know what I'm saying? Now, it's like, hold on, man. Come on, bro. We see you. It's sad, bro. That man making 10. I want y'all to think about this. Man making $10.50 an hour, bro. That's crazy work, bro. Niggas was making that shit like, bro, back in goddamn 98, 96 at Taco Bell. Man, listen, bro. The government says, then what? Eddie Garcia says, man, and then Diddy put cash through the money counter. There was stacks of 10,000 at the time. The machine displayed at the end $100,000. The government says, why the additional 50,000? Eddie Garcia says, for me and what he thought was Israel Flores. So Diddy went above and beyond to pay these people to hide his crimes. The nigga going to prison, bro. Showing you pay everybody off. There's the Rico. It's right there. Diddy should have took the plea. This dumbass nigga went to court, and they going to take everything from him. They got Christina Corum, and they got his bodyguards tied in. It's over with, bro. That nigga, just one testimony right here. And the feds, they could have did y'all so solid. They could have put this out first. They didn't do that. The feds waited on this for y'all. And this ain't it. We ain't even got the victim 2 yet. We haven't even got the victim number 2. We ain't even finished with this guy. Then they got the money guy coming in too today. You think my rap shit's a gimmick? Nigga, I ain't seen Parole in a minute, nigga. This is over with, nigga. Now I guarantee you them court people they said was laughing yesterday, laugh now and cry later, nigga. I guarantee you they ain't laughing today. That's why I told y'all. We smoke niggas like Pac. Ready to ride. Oh, yeah. Lisa Pearlman said, what was $10? No, he was making, Eddie Garcia was making $10.50 an hour working. And Diddy put $1 million payout on his NDA if he said anything. Come on, bro. That dude would have never been able to pay that shit, bro. That's foul. So, yeah, I'm telling y'all. It's over with. And the fans still ain't finished with this fool yet. They got a lot to go. Yeah, all these people that was talking that trash yesterday. Oh, yeah, but today, I told you guys, I gave y'all hope. When everybody was switching up, I'm the only one that's still steady. If you pay attention, I'm the only one that's been steady the whole time. Haven't been up, haven't been down, haven't been one side, the other side. Nope. Because I already knew what the feds was going to do. That's slow cook this nigga. The feds is not going to double dog dare you go to trial and then come capping, nigga. You're not finna do it. They're not finna do it. Not finna do it. Nope. Nope. That's why when everybody was hooting and hollering, coming to me, Ticket, what about Mia? What about her? I believe she's telling the truth. They all demonize that girl. Because that's what they do. They're a bunch of fucking bullies. But the truth is always going to come out. And what's going to happen is the truth always have a fun way of coming out. That's why you don't see the feds panic. Because they knew the truth was coming. You just got to wait for it. You got to wait for it. Now, everybody on the internet talking about Rico now. Everybody talking about Rico. I've been telling y'all this from day one. Now them niggas talking about Rico. Nigga, sit down and shut the hell up, nigga. Sit down and shut the hell up. So, let's move forward. All right? Let's move forward. The government said, what did you do? He said, I called Bill Madrano and I gave him $50,000. And the government says, how much to Mr. Elias? He said, I gave him 20,000. And he said, what did you do with your 30,000? He said, I bought a used car. This man went and put the 30,000. He went and bought a used car, dog. He went and bought a Cadillac, dog. He bought a lack. You know he got to have that lack before he breaks that back, shouty. He went and bought a used car, man. Oh, man. Eddie, good old Eddie, man. Eddie was like, man, I was walking to work, taking the bus every day, man. I had to go get me a whip, man. Boy, that's the first thing man. He don't get him no house. He ain't gonna put a payment down on the house. He said, nah, I got to go get me a whip, dog. He said, man, I went and got me a used whip. This fool probably went and got a Lambo, making $10.50 an hour. Man, bro. Lord have mercy, man. Diddy's out of here. Hey, bro, you know he ain't lying. He said he went and bought a used whip. He ain't even say new. You know he ain't lying. You know he ain't lying. He said that Diddy, right? Oh, no, excuse me. I missed some parts, y'all. Hold on. So he says, the government said, well, how did Diddy give you the $100,000? Check this out, y'all. Y'all remember? Brown paper bag. Brown paper bag. He said Diddy gave it to him in a brown paper bag. Brown paper bag. I smell a Rico, nigga. Brown paper bag. He said that nigga Diddy gave it to him in a brown paper bag. The government said, was the bodyguard there? He said, yep. The government said, what about Christina Corum? Was she there? He said, I would say at some point, yeah, I stood up. The government said, signifying? He said, that's that I'll be leaving. Yep. He said, Diddy escorted me to my car. He asked me how I'd be spending it. He said, don't make no big purchases. He's done, bro. The judge says, Brian Steele, if you're objecting, speaking to the microphone. That's sustained. Disregard that last part. Brian Steele was up there. Objection. Brian Aluminum was up there getting cooked. Brian Aluminum is toast. What Brian Aluminum is gonna try and do is he gonna try and argue paperwork, nigga, which they've entered into court evidence. Brian Aluminum is gonna try to argue paperwork, bro. Not gonna happen, Brian Aluminum. Good old Eddie. Eddie. Good old Eddie. Diddy told him don't make no big purchases. This fool went right and bought a used car, man. Man, get Brian Aluminum the hell up out of here, man. You know what I'm saying? Doing it well. She represented Queens, but was raised out in Brooklyn. Woo! Man. Bro, it's over with, man. Loving you is easy come. You're beautiful. Doo 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 doo. Ladies and gentlemen, did y'all remember the part in the movie where Reggie Warrington Jr. got his head slammed in the mic in the piano? And Eddie said, hey man, Reggie Warrington Jr. has left the building. Boom. Get his ass out of here, man. Him and Brian Aluminum. Get both of them out of here. All the Diddy actors saying, Brian, you got to say something, bro. And he can't say nothing. How he going to argue evidence? He can't argue physical evidence. What are you going to say? Oh, yeah, well, this piece of paper right here, it wasn't recycled, man. This was not recycled. This paper was not recycled. Wasn't recycled. And that Jezebel they got over there on the sideline. That Jezebel lawyer they got over there. Just a Jezebel. Yeah, you taking this L too. Y'all gonna take a group L. Y'all gonna take a group L. Period. Yeah, he gonna take a group L. Point blank. Period. They all gonna take this L. Every last one of them. All the Diddyites, all of them. They ain't gonna be able to argue this one down. All they gonna be able to try to say is, "Oh man, the girls are lying." No, they ain't. Because at the end of the day, they gonna come back and sweep the streets on that too. They gonna come back and clean all that up later on. Wait for it. Y'all need to be worried about this next witness they got coming. That's what y'all need to be worried about. Is this next witness? Oh, that's what y'all need to be worried about. Yeah, y'all already know all that bribery and stuff. So everybody who's talking about bribing and stuff like that, and they showing receipts, man, you out of here, bro. And that's why Brian Steele was bringing up an appeal. I told you, they already know the nigga going to jail. All they can do is now is try and muddy up everybody. All they trying to do is win a court of public opinion. Call all these women hoes, say all of them lying, take no responsibility, lie and act like they took responsibility for the beatings when they didn't. They try to deny it. But you can't deny it, right? So what, man? What y'all niggas start? Like I said before. And they need to get this type of scum off the streets. Our youth do not need this type of example of a man that's out here in the community. I'm sorry. That he needs to be gone. He's talking about somebody else. He need to be eradicated from society. And I mean, he needs to be put in prison for the rest of his life. So that guys can see this is the repercussions of stupidity. And that's what everybody need to understand. This is the repercussions of stupidity. When you do dumb stuff, this is the type of results you get. And how did I know all this stuff was coming? I told y'all it's all in the pretrial paperwork. All you had to do was go read, bro. Some of y'all ain't want to read. That's how I know all this stuff that's coming up. Because they did it in all the paperwork. The judge, as I told y'all, the judge will get this nigga life. The judge knows Diddy is filthy as hell. The judge don't see all this stuff. Why y'all think 3 judges rejected a $50 million bail? Y'all thought it was for no reason? Stop this, bro. The judge know the end game. He know what's gonna come up. It's the jury that don't know. They gonna find out on the fly. And that's why I keep trying to tell y'all this. Right? Keep trying to tell y'all this. And when you should be listening to me, you ain't listening. That's your problem. Yeah, you play dumb games, you win dumb prizes, man. And Brian Aluminum, he did it to himself. He did it to himself. Brian Aluminum did it to himself. Period. Shouldn't have been playing games with these people. Right? Mm-hmm. And they got D Ferg up there testifying against Diddy. D Ferg got he know where all the money's at. Everybody talk about D Ferg all the time. D Ferg know what it is. I've been told y'all this. D Ferg coming next. Didn't I tell y'all that? But y'all ain't want to listen to me? No, I told y'all. They gonna get everything on this dude. Y'all don't want to listen. They finna take everything. They finna strip everything. D Ferg coming next. That's D Ferg on the right-hand side of the screen. He coming next. I've been told these bums, nigga. Bet your money on ticket, nigga. Bet your money on me, nigga. Bet on me. Bet on me. I ain't finna lose. Not to no bum. I'm not finna lose. That's D Ferg on the screen. D Ferg coming next. He coming up. That's the money man, nigga. D Ferg coming. His real name, Derek Ferguson. Y'all don't heard people talk about him all these years. Go back and look at all them YouTube interviews where people that's in that circle talk about deferred. This is what happens when you don't know. If you don't know, now you know. Try to tell him. Try to tell him. So the judge says, anything further for the government? The government says, yeah, Mr. Flores. Did you see the video again? He said, yeah, on a news outlet. Also, Mr. Flores messaged me a screenshot. He said, did you keep those messages? Right? That's what he said. That's what he said. Did you keep those messages? Eddie Garcia says, nah, I wanted nothing to do with it. Eddie Garcia's like, man, I got my bread, man. Eddie Garcia probably ain't ever touched 30,000 before. He probably like, man, I got my bread, Holmes. Shit, I got 30,000. Shit. You know what I'm saying? I got my palm. He probably feel like he got his palms greased. But the question I want to know is what happened to how did the other copy? What happened with that? They're gonna have to ask the other dude about that. He got greedy. He got greedy. He got greedy. Oh, my bad, y'all. It's a different deferred, not the same deferred. These two deferreds is different. The deferred that they always talk about from the hood is Daryl Ferguson. That's not Derek Ferguson. So those are two different people. The deferred I'm talking about is the dude who was the CFO of Bad Boy Entertainment, right? The other deferred is an OG from Harlem. He designed the Uptown Bad Boy logos, things like that. You know what I'm saying? So that's not the same guy. The other deferred, the one I showed y'all in the picture, this is the one that's testifying. And y'all can go check out my boy Diddy Docket put it on his timeline. Y'all can go check that out. Y'all can go see who this guy is. He's right there. Bro, they gonna line this fool up, man. They don't already show 2 action Rico in 1 hour. 1.5 hours. They don't show 2 action Rico. Period. We ain't got nothing to talk about. And they showed the evidence and they link workers in and they link security staff in. It's over with, nigga. So the government says, were you contacted by the police? Eddie Garcia says, yep. They said, did you tell the truth? He said, nope. Guess what happened then? Obstruction of justice. It's over with. He said, I wanted nothing to do with it. The government said, did you get your own lawyer and then told the truth? He says, yes. The government said, no further questions. Here comes Brian Aluminum now. Here comes Brian Aluminum now, y'all. So Brian Aluminum gonna come up here huff and puff and get his house blown down. And I love how the government leaves cliffhangers because what they do is they'll come on redirect and they can ask him about, oh, well, how did Kathy get that video on redirect? So I love how the government do that just to make sure they get the last word in. So Brian Aluminum says, sir, you were in the condominium unit with Diddy and others and received double what your boss was requesting, fair? He said, yeah. Brian Steele says, you told your boss because you're honest, right? He said, yeah. Brian Steele says, you asked Diddy for work. He says, yeah. Yeah, I asked him for work. Yeah. Yeah. And he gave me work. He gave me $30,000. Yeah. He gave me that 30,000, Holmes. That's what he gave me. Yeah, that's what he gave me, dog. He gave me that 30,000, brothers. You got a problem with it? Do you have a problem with it? If you was making $10 an hour, you would have took that shit too. Mr. Steely Steel. Since Brian Steele know it all. Straight up. Capping ass Brian Steele. Brian Steele ain't nothing but a cap artist. And that's it. Man. Right? Man, Brian's still full of it, man. Yeah, they ain't gonna talk about this today. They ain't gonna talk about this today. All the little plants they got. I wonder why TMZ ain't been putting out articles about this. It's funny how TMZ ain't been putting out no stories about this testimony. Yeah, TMZ, we see you. We see you too, TMZ. Why y'all ain't been putting out breaking news about this? You know what I'm saying? They show evidence in open court of Rico. Put that on your channel, TMZ. But we already know what's up, so we gonna talk about it on our channel. That's why we taking all the viewership now, because y'all don't want to tell the truth, right? And if I was Eddie Garcia, I said, nah, I ain't an honest person because I lied about that tape. You know what I'm saying? Until I got caught. Period. He asked Diddy for work. I don't even doubt him asking Diddy for work. Wouldn't you ask a nigga for work if you got paid that type of money for doing something like that? He would ask Diddy for work. Straight like that. I mean, that's not even, there ain't no cap in that rap. You damn right he asked Diddy for it. The man was making $10.50 an hour, nigga. What you expect? And he helped something that saved Diddy's entire career. He helped something that saved Diddy's entire career. That's exactly what he did. Because I'm going to tell you something. If that tape would have came out in 2016, Diddy would have been done. He would have been done. You know what I'm saying? Well, they don't. When they found Eddie, man. Man. Boy, you know the feds had to do some deep investigating to find Eddie. They went up there and got Eddie? Man. Not Eddie Winslow, Eddie Garcia. Shout out to Kelvin and the Cash App coming through, $25 donation. He says, Ticket, when you gonna start talking Lakers again? I'll start cooking them bums once I finish this trial again. I ain't forgot about JJ Redick, punk ass. I'll get back to cooking them bums after this trial's over with. I got extra cook for them. Don't worry about that. As soon as this trial's over with, I get back to cooking them clowns. It's easy work. Right? What? Hold on. The hell? Yeah, man. Eddie snitched on everything, bro. Eddie was like, man, I don't care what none of y'all say. Eddie was like, I'm telling it all, nigga. Y'all kiss my ass. He was standing on it too. You feel me? He damn sure was standing on it. And this is the reason why you got to blame Diddy, man. Diddy was out here hiring every day. Diddy had everyday people, working people, doing criminal activities. That's the stupidest thing you could do. Bro, you can't have everyday working people doing criminal activities, bro. You got to have people who are in that life, who are used to, you know what I'm saying, being in the system, who are willing to take these type of charges if something go down, who ain't gonna open their mouth. When you start pulling these type of stunts on everyday working people, man, and they facing 10, 15, 20, man, people ain't going to no prison for you, man. They not. Brian D. Steele says, let me show you the NDA. This part says exclusions, right? Garcia says, under the NDA, you can't speak, is my understanding. Brian Steele says, it says nothing prohibits truthful statement in a legal proceeding. Garcia says, I see that. Brian Steele says, you weren't law enforcement? He says, no. There's nothing Brian Steele got. Brian Steele's out here grabbing at straws. He ain't got nothing. Brian Steele have nothing. He literally have nothing. You're grasping at straws, brother. There ain't nothing to argue about this. This shit is open and shut. This is open and shut. Now you talking about an NDA. There ain't nothing to talk about. It's open and shut. So Brian Steele can come out here and try and, feed to their little fan base. Man, it's over with, bro. These bums know what it is. Right? Let me see. Diddy's, it's over with, y'all. It's over with, bro. These niggas is done, bro. These dudes is done, man. They're done, bro. They're done. Diddy's team is done, y'all. Brian Steele said, I got nothing further, man. Brian Steele ain't got nothing. Judge says redirect. The government says NDA, part of 4. Can you read that? Part 4. Can you read that after? However, Garcia says notify company to allow company to prevent disclosure. The government says, so you'd have to notify them first? He said, yes. Brian Steele says, objection. The judge says, sit your ass down, Brian Aluminum. Overruled, punk. Game over, man. I told y'all, man, the bums getting exposed. Cold heart never get cold feet when that pressure come, nigga. Didn't I tell y'all this? Out here getting his ass stepped on and walked dry. Brian Aluminum is the most overrated lawyer in recent history, bro. I've never heard a lawyer get more overrated than this dude. All I want to hear people say when they mention his name is overrated. He's an overrated lawyer, bro. What case did he won? Somebody got to tell me what major case he went up there and they said not guilty. We find a defendant not guilty. Tell me one. Set his ass down real quick. He can't argue paperwork, nigga. He can't argue none of that. They done, son. Get him out of here. You said Young Thug? He didn't win the Young Thug case. Remember, he got up there and said he didn't want that judgment. He said he didn't agree with Thugger taking that deal. And Thugger pleaded guilty. So, wrong, Wendy Blake. Thugger pleaded guilty and got a 15-year probation. If he do anything, they gonna try and jam him up. You already seen they try to jam the man up over some word. That's crazy work. Keep going. Keep going. You want to keep getting cooked, man? It's easy to get this cooking over here. And I put barbecue sauce on mine. Straight like that. I put barbecue sauce on mine, baby. Straight like that. I put barbecue sauce on mine. Yes, sir. Let's see who they bring next before lunch. That's going to be, or do they do a break? Who they bring next before lunch? This was great this morning, y'all. This is great this morning. Man. Boy, they proved Rico in less than an hour and a half. They already proved 2 acts of the Rico. They got enough to get a conviction on him just off that. Right there. Brian still had no argument for this fool. Shut down. Done. There was no cross. You cannot cross paperwork. It's over with. You can't cross emails. You can't cross where it has phone numbers. You can try to tell all these people about their testimony. You cannot cross evidence, nigga. He's done. They sent his ass to jail for life, nigga. For life. They shut him down. All them objections got overturned. Overruled, I should say. All of his objections got overruled. Only thing I wish they would have did is address how Cassie or whoever else got another copy of that tape. That's all I want to know. Because he didn't even ask it. Brian still ain't touched that. He out of there, bro. Yes, Flores did copy it on his cell phone. So that's where they're gonna ask Flores about that. So you're right. They couldn't even ask Eddie Garcia because Eddie Garcia did not copy that video. Right? Oh, and ladies and gentlemen, I have breaking news. Tony Busby has rejected Mariah Mills, but they ain't gonna report that. They ain't gonna report that. Tony Busby rejects corn star Mariah Mills in her attempt to try to sue Zion Williamson. That's for all them niggas running around saying he trying to tear down a black man. That's a lie too. Tony Busby care about one thing, and that's green, money. That's the only color he care about. That's for damn near all them lawyers. The lawyers don't care what you look like. If it's some money behind it, they going for it. He probably looked at her case and seen that she was hella capped. Was like, nah, I don't want to do with you. Straight up. It's funny how TMZ posts that, but they won't post nothing about this thrashing. It's funny how they won't post nothing about this thrashing that they client got. Crazy work. Out here getting cooked. Yeah, they ain't gonna talk about that. They ain't gonna talk about the fact that Tony Busby rejected her. I'm gonna talk about that in the next video. Yeah, we're gonna Israel. I gotta see if they got him coming up here. But they got a couple other people coming up here. I see other people they got coming up here. I'm telling y'all what Tony did. He probably told her, show me your evidence. She probably gave him something that wasn't tangible. He's like, nah, nope. Tony ain't going to court with something that's not tangible. That's the one thing I can study about that dude, bro. I try to tell y'all this. Y'all don't want to listen. It's okay, cool. You want to run the narrative? Run the narrative. I'd rather run the truth than run a lie. I'd rather run the truth. Oh, man. You don't know which you're winning or not, brother. Until them people hand down that verdict, man. So, again, y'all smash the like button. We should be at almost over 2,000 or 3,000 likes, bro. We should be over 3,000 likes. You know what I'm saying? That's a fact. We got almost 4,000 people in here. And salute to everybody that's tapped in, but we should have all those likes up, man. It's definitely a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Definitely a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Right? Now, Israel didn't say today he was already going to be there. How could Israel say today and he was already going to be there? That's the part y'all got to remember. Israel's going to be there. He wasn't worried about that. Israel was not worried about that. Right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, they ain't gonna get him. Ain't gonna get his ass up out of here, man. Oh yeah, we got some more donations. Hold on. Oh shit, hold on a second, man. Who was this? Esmeralda? I don't want to mispronounce your name. But salute to you in the Cash App with the donation. You came through $15 donation. I appreciate you. Much love to you, man. Also, Terry Sands, salute to you, brother. Came through in the Cash App. $25 donation, brother. And he said, keep up all the hard work, brother. Hey, salute to you, man. I appreciate it. Oh, yeah, if y'all want to donate the Cash App, PayPal link pinned at the top of the chat, man. All you got to do is click that link, man. Show me love, man. You know what I'm saying? Y'all already know they hating on the brother. They mad anyways. And I told y'all I was going to be right from the very beginning. I told y'all. He going to jail for life, prison for life. Everybody thought I was capping. That man going to spend the rest of his life in prison. And for all the way he have disparaged all these people, he have had all these other people's names dragged in this situation because of his foolishness. Man, ain't nobody got time for all that, man. This man was wildly erratic, disrespectful. You're bringing in everyday working people into criminal activity, man. You a fool. And it's funny how so many black folks jump up and like what you call said, they jump behind the wrong thing with this clown. Diddy put white people in the biggest positions, but black folks jumping up talking about some, oh man, they're doing a black man wrong. Man, be quiet. Be quiet. And I have no problem with white people. I'm just saying y'all keep trying to push this black narrative with him. And Diddy's main person was white. So that destroys everything y'all say. That destroys everything y'all say. So cut it out. Salute everybody tapped on in the building, man. Y'all know what it is, man. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, Christina Corm. That's his main person. That's the girl who was the highest ranking under him. Yeah, KK. Yeah, you can see her in a lot of the videos Diddy got. She's damn near all them videos, man. Again, I'll be trying to tell these cats, man. You know what I'm saying? It's sad. Yeah, so we gonna take a break, man. They taking a break, y'all. When they come back with the next witness, we gonna step on their helmets.
All right, you guys. So we appreciate everybody that popped in, supported this video. Make sure that you guys shop our merch. We got that new A Weapons merchandise right there below this video. All you gotta do is look below. The links will be pinned at the top of the comment section as well to get the merch, to donate, support the channel, and subscribe to our podcast show. You'll see all those links pinned at the top of the comment section of this video. And we appreciate everybody that supports this channel and our networks. Also, that straight drop weight loss formula. Go to the website. You guys will see that. A link for that will be pinned at the top of the comment section as well. Go right there for all of your weight loss needs. Straight drop weight loss formula. We have a lot of testimonials on the website. You can go to www.str-8-drop.com and get you some of the weight loss formula today. Take your weight loss serious. Get in the gym, work out, exercise, and do what you got to do to stay on point. We appreciate everybody that's been locked into this video. Again, all the links are pinned at the top of the comment section below. Salute to all of y'all. And again, we appreciate everybody who support what we doing over here.